Debt. It's a funny topic. It gets people charged. People have wide opinions on it. And so just wanted to take a quick minute to talk about it. Debt is a tool, right? So when we talk about debt, talk about borrowing money, right? There's all kinds of different ways to borrow money. We can borrow money to buy a car. We can borrow money to go to college. We can borrow money to buy a house. We can borrow money to go on vacation. We can borrow money to buy something from the grocery store these days, but buy now, pay later, right? So debt is a tool, right? Is something that we can use. And there's a lot of people that believe that you shouldn't have debt. And there's obviously going to be people in the other camp that believe you should have all kinds of debt. And I think the reality is like other videos we've talked about in the past, it depends. It is, when used appropriately, it is a tool that can create excess wealth, right? Like, I don't think you can make a good case for the fact that if you had a mortgage and probably if you were a business owner, some type of business loan, right? Buying a property, buying equipment, buying things like that. If you've properly used the tool of debt over the course of the last 20 or 30 years, and then properly reallocated resources to make an investment as a result of that debt, that you have created excess wealth, right? So, I mean, again, think about it today. Our mortgage here is below 3%. And we've had that mortgage since mid-2020, right? Pandemic. We were fortunate to be able to refinance at that point in time. And to believe that we can't make in excess of 3% over the course of the next 30 years sounds ludicrous to me. And so debt is a tool, it's leverage. So I can borrow at 3, and in theory, I can make 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever it ends up being, right? And if I can borrow at 3 and make whatever in excess of that, then I win, right? So it doesn't matter how much money, we see all these tables that, the pay off debt earlier, how much money you've paid the bank in interest payments, which is great. It's a very valid point. You pay a lot of money in mortgage interest because you're paying it over 30 years on what is a significant balance, right? But show me the other column, right? Show me how much money you made as a result of that debt. And so it's a very hot charged topic. But the reality of the situation is if we use the tool and we use it appropriately, it should lead to excess wealth as a result of proper usage of debt. Now, you get into different opinions of what proper usage of debt is, and I'm all on board with that, right? Like borrowing to go to college and paying 9% to get an art degree is probably a harder sell for me than borrowing at 3% on a mortgage for 30 years. What's undeniable true is that there are people that hate debt and they can't get it out of their head. They lose sleep over it. They don't want to owe somebody money. They are ready to get out from underneath owing somebody another dollar. And that is important too, right? So for them, it's as much of an emotional decision as it is a financial decision. And for those folks to be able to sleep well at night, be out from underneath it, not worry about X, Y, or Z, that's a good decision. Did they create excess wealth in the way that they could have had they leaned into debt? Probably not. But they sleep better at night. So again, debt is a tool. Used appropriately, you can win. And also, not used appropriately, you can win. Because for those that sleep better without it, even having an extra dollar or an extra X dollars doesn't matter. They need that relief from pressure, that release from stress of owing somebody another dollar. So again, when we're thinking about tools out there in the world, there are some tools that are appropriate for some people and they're not appropriate for others. So understand the tools, understand the benefits of the tools, understand the disadvantages of them, know the numbers, know where you sit mentally, and then make your best decision. If you liked today's video, hit the subscribe button down below, or better yet, just leave us a comment.